Okay, guys, so it is a late day, and we'll let some people join in and we'll get a little discussion going. So I didn't do a live stream last night like I normally would, so I'm gonna do one tonight. So we'll try it this way, and we shall see if this works out for us. So, like I said, we'll let some people join in and then we'll get started. I know it's late for a lot of people, so I don't know if we'll get a bunch of people joining in or we'll probably end up keeping this posted so people can see it tomorrow, but we'll see. Joey says, let's go. What's up, Joey? Joshua says, Saturday Night Live. I know, right? Eric says, what's up, big dog? What's going on, Eric? So, yeah, like I said, we'll get a few people in here and then we'll get talking on tonight's topic, which is it's a lot. So we'll see who gets in here, and we'll give everybody a few minutes to get in. Hope everybody's having a good weekend so far. Mine's been crazy. I'm just trying to get this stuff all sorted out and see what's going to go on with everything. So Joshua says, you're going to make it to Roadkill. So that's kind of what I want to talk about a little bit tonight, and then we'll see what the conclusion is. That's kind of what I wanted to discuss with you guys tonight. Belts. What's up, belts? Is that like buckle belts? Serpentine belts? Supercharger belts? What kind of belts? So we got 13 people in here. Yeah, not a whole lot. 14. I know a lot of people are probably sleeping, but we'll see. Darren, what's up, Darren from Canada? Hey, John, I'm still awake tonight. How you doing, bro? Tired about? Yeah, I'm exhausted. You guys can't tell by my face. I am tired, man. Force59, what's up? We got almost 20 people in here. It says, or it's telling me. Troubadour, yo, congrats on 90K. Thanks, man. It's thanks to you guys just as much as anything else. Without your guys' support, we would never make it there. So. Troubadour, yo, Joshua, congrats on 90K. Thanks again. Anthony, badass truck bro. Thanks, brother. Belts, last name. Not bad. It's pretty badass last name. So, 25 people in here. So, yeah, I've obviously been working my butt off trying to get ready for this event. So, as you guys know, most of you guys know, transmission grenaded. I think everybody knows that by now that's with the channel. We got a replacement transmission. We had kind of delays with torque converter stuff. Got a torque converter in there. Weren't sure on the drive shaft. Got a new drive shaft in there. I had a bunch of delays, but I definitely fulfilled my part of that whole endeavor by making sure that everything got back together. Back together and put back together and do my best at that. So the truck is back together. The truck runs. And like I said, I read a lot of your comments on the last video. I didn't have time to respond to them because I was just been still trying to get everything going. But I'm trying to decide right now, maybe not right now, but kind of just telling you guys my current thoughts. Saturday night, I have to be there. So I'm on the West Coast. I have to be in Pontiac, Michigan, which is, says 1 day and 8 hours. So 24 plus 8. 32 hours of driving. Probably add an hour since I can't, maintain the same speed as a car. So say 33 hours more or less, plus, stops and all that stuff in there. So like 33 hours of traveling to get over there. Part of the reason why I'm telling you guys the length of that, I think it's like 2,200 miles. Like it's pretty insane. But the truck, like I said, truck works. But I still, like I said, I read a lot of your comments before. I still don't think the truck is 100%. And trust me, like, I want to go to this event so bad. But at the same time, not at the expense of potentially grenading the truck again. There's a monetary aspect to that. Like, I probably spent about $4,000 on that one pull. So by the time I bought a new transmission, torque converter, have to get new tires because my tires were kind of a little bit nicked up. I don't know if my old slicks are still usable, but there's just a lot of expense for one pass the last time. So like I said, it's around $4,000 that I had to dish out just for grenading the transmission the last time. I haven't done a full calculation, but like I said, I've spent like almost $3,200 just on the transmission itself. And then, you know, had to buy a torque converter, had to buy the spare torque converter. Like, there was a lot of money in it. So if I don't feel 100% confident in the truck, I'm not going to, that's the part of the problem. Like, I'm not going to risk breaking it again. And like I said, testing it today, truck works, truck sounds good, pulls good, but you got to remember the last time that I had the issue, I started to feel vibration. I would say, like I said, the speedo doesn't work, so I can only kind of guesstimate and kind of get a rough idea. You got to remember, I trapped at 100 miles an hour in the 8th when we went to the track last time, and I think I kept my foot in it maybe a little bit after that, so right around 100 miles an hour to maybe 110, somewhere around there, is when it completely self-destructed. I think I could safely say I brought it up to like 80, maybe 90 miles an hour or so, but it's hard to tell. There's a couple of reasons. It's hard to tell what is vibrating on the truck because that truck has, you gotta remember, it's a lower truck, barely has any travel, rides really stiff. Not only that, but with the Hooker Blackheart engine mounts and transmission mount and all that stuff, it's a lot more of a performance mount. So I mean, you got like maybe like 2 inches or so of like polyurethane bushings. So there's a lot more vibration that you feel through the engine and the chassis. Not to mention, I also have energy suspension cab mounts. So that truck elicits a lot more vibration than a stock Dakota would, or even a stock truck. So there's a lot of feedback that's coming through the chassis to begin with. Stack that on top of the fact that I really don't have a ton of seat time in that truck since the build's been, completed. So I don't really know what feels normal, what doesn't feel normal. But like I said, when you get up to speed and that thing starts vibrating, it's a very small window. When you have that much horsepower behind it, it's a very small window of time from feeling a vibration into shattering a transmission. So like I said, if I went through the 8th mile in 7 seconds, I maybe stayed in it for an extra second or two before the transmission explode. So that's what I'm saying. Like it's like a split second that this thing is going to let go, if it's going to let go at any time. So it's, like I said, it's a difference between 1 second or the next, whether the truck stays together or completely self-destructs. So like I said, there's the financial aspect of it, probably about a $4,000 expense. It is what it is. I mean, I'm not going to complain about it, but at the end of the day, it is money. Not to mention the safety aspect of it. If I were to lose control of the truck, if the truck were to crash, any of that stuff, in the event that it spills hot oil all over the rear suspension, or sorry, the rear tires and all that. So there's definitely a factor, like a safety factor there. There's also potential shrapnel and stuff. A lot of guys are saying about shrapnel coming through, the floor pan, which is also a valid point. So if it's not 100%, I get everybody, and especially with, what's trending these days, full sends, like I get it. But at the same time, too, there's a lot more to it than just stupidly going out and racing the thing if the truck is not ready and tested and true. So, like I said, I took it out today. I still think there's some sort of vibration, you guys, unfortunately. So I don't know what it is. I might have to check the rear end, see if there's maybe something coming out of the rear end that's transferring through everything else. Or like I said, it's just, it could be something. I can't even say that. I was going to say it could be something as stupid as the wheels being out of balance, but that type of vibration wouldn't transfer itself through, through the wheels and all of a sudden into my drivetrain. But like I said, it's kind of not that I'm scared of the truck, but like I said, when I feel the vibration. If I don't get out of it within, I'm not even exaggerating, if I don't get out of it within like literally 1 second, staying in it for that 1 extra second to see if that vibration is really a real vibration is the difference between the truck staying together or the truck splattering its guts all over, the pavement. So that's where I'm caught at. It's like I have to flirt with the vibration, but I can't. Literally, if I stay in it 1 second too long, it will explode again. So I'm just like, that's where I'm at with it right now. Like I said, it sucks because the truck is together, but it's like out of my hands again. Like I said, I did everything on my part to put the thing together, but I mean, I can go to the Roadkill nights, but I don't think it's ready to make a full pass. Like, so there's a difference between me going to an event and whether it's, just driving around or cruising around or whatever. And there's that, and then me taking the truck and trying to squeeze every bit of power and, speed out of the truck at a racetrack. It's totally two different functions. So, and unfortunately, this event that, unfortunately, the Roadkill event is strictly just a racing event. So I don't know that there's much of a social aspect of it too much. I think it's mostly, I don't think there's any show aspect of it. I could be wrong. I'll have to look into it. But I don't know if it makes sense to go all the way out there if the truck's not 100%. Like, I could go out there. Like I said, it's not. If it was closer, I would just go and show up. But if we're going to go all the way out there, and I'm going to spend 32 hours at least, more like 33 hours of driving to go all the way there, and the truck isn't 100%, I think it's kind of a waste of two things. There's limited spots, so I would rather see somebody that actually is going to be able to fully have that position. Like I said, right now I have an allocated spot at the events, but if I'm having issues, there's somebody else that could be racing potentially, not sandbagging it. Because honestly, if I were to go down the track, I would probably not be able to make a full pass because it feels great down low. So, I mean, you can launch the truck, it feels good, it hooks good, but you start getting up in the speed and the truck starts vibrating, and I need to bring it somewhere or to someone that has dealt with this type of thing before so we can try to pinpoint it together. Whether that's strapping it to a dyno with some sort of drivetrain experts and seeing exactly where things are happening or going sideways for us. I'm going to do a little more testing tomorrow. I'll see if, potentially, like I said, the truck and the chassis is so stiff that it's hard to tell. Like, if I hit like a few cracks in the road or something like that, the whole truck will, you'll get that feedback in it. So, like, is it paranoia that when I hit the 75 or whatever I hit today that I just happen to hit a patch of road? I don't know. But at the same time too, stacked on top of, me thinking that it's still vibrating and still having that issue, I'm still having the starting issue. I did a bunch of stuff and don't think that I'm not working on this to get this, try my best to get this all working. But this morning, I took it to a Dodge dealership. Thanks to, if you end up watching this, thanks to my buddy at the Dodge dealership. He hooked it up huge. We hooked it up. I thought there was a bunch of different updates for the Hellcat for hard start, no start conditions. So we had him bring it up to the latest flash at the Dodge dealership to see if that would potentially fix it. And it hasn't been acting up for the last couple days, which was good. But then doing some testing, and yeah, it's doing the same thing where sometimes it just won't start, and I gotta figure that part out. So I have some sort of electronic gremlin that I also have to sort out. So there's two things. If I go all the way to Roadkill, I might have an issue where I can't get the truck started. Like, I would hate to go through the starting line and then have my truck not start, because obviously when you're going up to the starting line, you have to sit there and turn it off, turn it on a bunch of times while everybody shuffles ahead. And if for some stupid reason I can't get the truck started, because when it does it won't start unless you let the thing cool down for like half an hour. So if I'm starting and stopping through that lineup and then all of a sudden it doesn't start, then I'm driving 32 hours one way and 32 hours another way just for that to happen. So I'm still working on it. I haven't completely given up yet, but it's kind of looking like it might not be a go. So like I said, I'm going to do my best still, and I'm like I said, I'm just getting a little bit burnt out because it's eating up a ton of time and energy to get this thing back together. But it's like it's kind of out of my hands. I mean, I've put the truck back together, but I still think it's not 100%. Like I think the more since this thing is so new, and I mean, so many bolts and nuts have been turned, and it's, you know, it's something that hasn't. Everybody hates when I say it, but I mean, this setup hasn't really been tested by me or anybody else. So I'm having to kind of pioneer some things and figure stuff out as I go along. There's not really people that I can just say, hey, what did you do in this situation? Because I mean, it's a situation that most people haven't dealt with. So I'm having to figure out some stuff, which is fine, but it's just in the essence of time. It just takes a little bit longer. What I can't Google, like, you know, what did somebody else do when they put a Hellcat in a Dakota and use the 8-speed automatic? Like, what drive shaft did they use? I'm the guy, right? So I'm having to figure this stuff out, which it is what it is. It's just trying to solve different puzzles and stuff like that and different issues. I can't do it as fast as, you know, if there was 10 other people that have already done this before, where everybody can kind of collaborate and bounce off their ideas. I'm having to figure this out myself. Let's see what some of you guys are saying, and I'll tell you a little bit more. Eric says, I hope you make the Roadkill. It's been a lot of hard work you put in. Yes, it definitely has. I'm trying, man, but I don't know if it fully makes sense. Justin, hey John, looking for a recommendation. I have the famous Dodge lifter tick. Going to replace the lifters and planning to do the cams. Well, plan to go for a lift cam. I wouldn't necessarily say, unless you already know, but I wouldn't rule it out as being an exhaust leak before you, like, because if you have an exhaust leak, it'll tick pretty bad. So see if it's just an exhaust leak before you jump to the cam and lifter issue. If it's a lifter issue, you'll get a bunch of misfire codes and stuff usually. But it could just be an exhaust leak if it's ticking. Diego, the Dakota has come so far. I've been watching it since you first picked her up, man, and you make me regret selling my old one. Damn, that sucks, man. Hopefully find one, man. Jay says, what's your ID? IG, I want to send you this picture. It's Boosted Motorsports. Same as the YouTube channel. Chad, love your channel. Keep your head up. Sir, hard work will pay off. I know. It's just, like I said, I'm kind of just coming to the conclusion that if I end up trying to push this thing, something is going to break again. And I just, like I said, I'm literally going to go insane if I... It'd be one thing if I was able to drive the truck for a few months and then, okay, now's the big test. But, I mean, literally just exploded the thing just to put it back together to not have any testing time, and then, you know, me not feeling that comfortable with it. And like I said, I'm not trying to be, you know, a wuss about it. I'm telling you guys that something seems a little bit off still. So I need to get more testing in, and I just don't have time, unfortunately. Not that I'm not spending the time on it. Like, guys, I'm staying up till like 2 in the morning for the last week getting this thing back together. So you guys can probably see it on my last video. Even my buddy Steve was like, dude, you look like a wreck in the last video. And you could see it in my face. Even, I don't know if today I don't look too beat up, but yeah, in the last video, I could see my face. My face was just drained. So I've been spending a ton of time on this thing to get it ready, but yeah, something just seems a little off. Like I said, I do still want to go. Just so you guys know how much like time and effort I've been putting into this thing. Stuff that I haven't documented, but I've just been like knocking the things off the list one by one. I got the oil changed on the Eco Diesel, so the oil's ready to go so we can tow. You guys know I changed the transmission fluid. I got all that. If I need to, I was going to check the brakes on the trailer. I got brand new brake shoes over there. I was going to throw those on the trailer so she's good to go. Yesterday morning, I went and got the new slicks that Kyle from Gauge Performance hooked us up with. I got those mounted on the tires. Like, I am and was and are, whatever, 100% committed to going, but it's just the truck still seems off. It doesn't seem, and like I said, I still think there's some sort of vibration, and at the same time too, it's still giving me a starting issue. So those two is like preventing me from being able to full send it if we were to drive, 23 hours across the country just to get to this one event. So I'm toying with a few things. Either I go there and I don't run, but I would potentially be, taking somebody's spot, or I go there and I make a half a pass and let out of it. But I think that's just way too far. If I was closer, if I was 5 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, even 10 hours away, it wouldn't seem so bad. But to drive 32 hours to not be able to make a full pass, it just, to me, it doesn't seem to make sense. Trust me, I want to go super bad. I think it'd be awesome exposure. Be cool to meet other people, other YouTubers, like collab, whatever. But I don't know if it. I don't think it's ready, you guys. It's still, there's something just seems off. I haven't figured it out. I will figure it out. It's just I still don't think we've gotten to the bottom of this yet. We're All Equal says, congrats, really nice work. Thank you, thank you. Darren, you sure have conquered a lot, for sure, in a short time. Yeah, I mean, like, we're building a truck, like most people, even other builders, like I went to, Detroit Speed and stuff like that, and you guys saw the quality of the builds. They were asking, like, how long you been working on this thing? And when I tell people, like, half a year, just over, or whatever, like, people are like, oh, like, I thought this was, like, a year, 2 years, 3 years. Like, we've gotten a lot done, and, I mean, the thing works, right? So, yes, there's bugs. Yes, there's little issues and gremlins that we have to work out, but, I mean, the truck is, for the better part, together. Let's see what else you guys are saying, and I'll tell you I'll get into what I think we should do in just a second. Belt says, hey dude, just got a 2001 Dodge Dakota 4-door. I want to start working on that. Need some advices. Check out my older videos. So check out the older Dakota videos. You can see right from when we first got this Dakota RT, and it was beat up. I mean, the body still is not the greatest. We are going to get painted soon, but I'll also touch on that subject in just a second. But yeah, check out the older videos. You can see all the stuff that we did with, the Dakota, and, different stuff you can do leading up to this point. Even before the Hellcoda, like, just check out the Dodge Dakota playlist. Josh says, hope you get to Roadkill. You gain like 10,000 subs after Carlisle. I know, like, that's the thing is, the more places I bring it and the more exposure it gets, it's definitely good for us, right? It's good for the channel. So it's just, what I mean? If it was a car show event or somewhere I could bring the truck just to present it and, show it, I mean, I would be down. But this event is strictly like a racing event. There's not much of a show opportunity. At least I think. I'll have to reach out to the promoters of the event and see what they say. Robert says, love the videos, man. Keep up the hard work. Appreciate the hard work and dedication for the videos. Thank you, man. I'll keep cranking out the videos. I'm just at the same time too, you guys, like, not to sit there and give you like a sob story, and it's not my style, but like, this is beating me up. Like, to travel across the country to go, all over the place, and then come back and then have to completely like scramble to try to get this thing back together, and then, just to jump back in my truck and drive back across the country. Like, it's no joke. It's a grind. Like, I know a lot of you guys are like, oh, he's complaining about, his job being YouTube and he's having all this fun. It is fun, don't get me wrong, but it definitely comes at a price. Like, it is not easy by any means. So, I mean, I enjoy what I do, but I gotta make sure I continue to enjoy it. Like, if I push myself too much, I might end up hating this thing, which I kind of feel myself teeter-tottering on that. Like, if I were to spend all this last, 2 weeks getting this truck ready, and then it grenades on me again, like, I am gonna just like lose my like, it's just, I'm gonna lose my sanity here. So I kind of have to make sure that it's, like I said, I gotta make sure the truck's 100% before we go, beating on it in this fashion. Yes, I could go, like, I could bring the truck to SEMA, I could bring the truck to some of these events, try to get this Driveline issue sorted out, and make sure that it's 100% before we full send it. I think it only makes sense, but it's just whether I'm going to trailer out, like I said, 33 or 32 hours to just sit there isn't really making too much sense in my head just yet, unless tomorrow in testing something changes. Mill says, can I get a hooyah? Yes, sir. John, a time for a nice whiskey. I know, tell me about it. Oh, what just moved? This thing jumped all around me. I'm just rolling through the comments here with you guys. Jim says, get some sleep, man. You're failing from lack of sleep. I wouldn't say I'm failing. Just like I said, it's just I put the truck back together. It's got all new stuff, and it's just you know, something just isn't. Something's just a little off. It's just, it is what it is. Monstar, check it one time. I slid into the live stream. What up, Jen? Don't freak yourself out. Not freaking myself out. It's just, it does still have some sort of. I do feel like it still has some sort of vibration, and I don't want to. I can't like financially risk grenading another transmission like that. If it was like a $500 transmission, you know, it's not the end of the world. But at the same time, too, we're talking, you know, $3,000 plus a hit. MJ, what up? What up, MJ? Stug, rear end maybe. I want to see if I can test that theory. I'm trying to come up with a way, like, maybe you guys can brainstorm some ideas. Like, I'm trying to think if there's a way that I could remove the drive shaft, take the wheels off, and spin the rear end fast enough that I could potentially see if there's a vibration coming out of the rear axle. So it's kind of what I want to check and try. I'm just trying to think if there's, like, I can't put an impact gun on it because obviously it's going to be bouncing, but if you could get like some sort of rotational, like some sort of drill. I don't think like you know, those paint guns, those big ones that you see a painter use. I don't think that would spin it fast enough if I put that on the pinion. If you could get something to spin it fast. Let's see. Harmonic balancer. No, because that would be engine RPM related. This is speed related. Troubadour. Doing great things, bud. Thank you, sir. Darren says, let's see. Darren says, that's disappointing. I'm sorry to hear that, John. You worked and pushed so hard to make it and understand your line of thinking, what you're saying. Yeah, like, I'm trying to be as reasonable and rational as possible. So, once I get through your comments here, I'll kind of tell you what I think my plan of attack is going to be. Henry, it still has a vibration. Yeah, I think I'm just catching up to you guys in the comments. Yeah, I still, like I said, I'm pretty sure it's still there. John, those people are going to be at the event. I'm sure you'll have more people willing to help you there than you do doing it all by yourself. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some truth in that. The other thing, too, is, I mean, people there are more there to, I don't think, you know what I mean, like, there's not going to be anybody that can actually just, you know, figure it out at the spot while it's sitting at the event or at the show. I'm going to have to, like, I do have resources and some people I can contact, so I'm going to have to, obviously it's a weekend, so I can't do much about now, but Monday I'm going to talk to some people. I want to try to talk to Fuzzy over at Gear Effects, see if he's ever seen anything or heard anything, or maybe can give me some advice. So I'll talk to those guys as well and see if we can come up with a solution. Matt saying, what up, full send? Hellcat, full send. Nathan, what's up? I'm late. What up, Nathan? Hellcoder for the win. Gary, hey, John just got here. What's up, Gary? What's up, Matt? Hopefully I say your name right. Moet. Love your videos, man. Thank you, thank you. Eric says, bro, if you feel some type of way about it, don't rush it. There'll be plenty of chances for that kind of exposure and plenty of chances to race test it. Yeah, like, that's kind of where I'm at, right? So, like I said, I think a normal situation would be we built the truck, get to, you know, drive it, test it, you know, and incrementally bring things up to speed. But, and I mean, honestly, if the truck wasn't making so much power, you could go to an 8th mile event. It wouldn't be a big deal. But that thing is a freaking rocket ship. Like, we're doing like 100 miles an hour in the 8th. Like, the thing gains speed so fast, and you know, when you start moving that fast, things are spinning really quick. So if there's something the slightest bit out, you know, it's spinning a lot. The other thing too is you guys got to remember, I was doing a lot of reading on Hellcat forums. The most, and don't quote me if I'm a little bit off, but I'll just give you from what I'm going off of memory. So the standard gear ratio on a Hellcat is 262 rear end. An upgrade for a Hellcat is a 309 gear ratio. you guys gotta remember. And what happens is when you go from the 262 to the 309, and a lot of guys in the Hellcat forums are saying that when they go from a 262 to a 309, just that jump, they're starting to get a lot more vibration in their cars. So, you know, totally different platform, but they're still getting vibration going from a 262 to a 309. And what happens is when you go to that from that 262 to the 309, the drive shaft is spinning a lot faster. So you're getting more RPM out of the drive shaft. And then on the flip side of that, we are at a 323, you gotta remember. So we're even higher than that. So that means my drive shaft, technically speaking, is spinning even faster than Hellcat guys that have an upgraded drive shaft. Because if you guys go ahead and search, like, you know, Hellcat drive shaft vibration or vibration Hellcat, you'll see a lot of guys saying that they have a 309 gear, they have an aluminum drive shaft, and their car is vibrating at 90 miles an hour. Go figure. So that's right where we're at right now, with the speed and everything that we're feeling. So, and some guys have broken similar stuff with similar things. So the only difference is obviously we have a different rear end in it, but same sort of thing. It's almost like they're getting some sort of vibration is transferring through the drive shaft. And the higher the gear ratio they go up, like when they go from the 262 to the 309, and the RPM is higher on the drive shaft, and you factor in that we're at a 323 because that was the lowest number I could get, the drive shaft's going to be spinning even more or faster than your standard Hellcat. So I found that interesting, but it still doesn't solve the issue. It just means that the drive shaft is going to be spinning a lot faster than a Hellcat one would be standard. So yeah, I know there's going to be a lot of exposure going there, but at the same time, like I said, I can't financially, justify exploding a transmission just for one event, or exploding something. Like I said, if it's not right, it's not right, and there's no point in going there if I can't make a full pass. Like I said, I could bring it up to 60. Like I can do 0 to 60 pulls all day, but you start getting too fast, and some sort of vibration I think still starts rearing its head. Matt saying, does it vibrate in neutral and revving it up, or in neutral only gear? It's speed dependent, you guys. So that's why I'm wondering if we don't know the history on the rear axle on this thing. Yes, we put a locker in it and stuff, but potentially something could be up with the rear end. Even maybe a bent axle or something from who knows what, and start going too fast and the thing starts vibrating. Like when the truck had the 5.9, like I never really had a reason to go any faster. Like it wasn't fast. So maybe we're seeing something. I mean, honestly, I kind of think about it too. Like, as stupid as it may or may not sound, like, I'm just kind of thinking about something too. Like, if I were to technically go to a junkyard tomorrow and pull out a Dakota rear end and toss it in, if all of a sudden things might be better. Like I said, I don't know if there's something up with our rear end right now, but it's, I mean, I don't know. As a desperate measure, I can almost go to a junkyard, pull out a Dakota rear end, throw it on the truck, and see if all of a sudden our vibration is gone. But we still don't know where it's coming from right now. Alright, so hopefully I'm back, you guys. I don't know, the computer's acting up a little bit. Hopefully I'm back. This thing keeps glitching out on me. Alright. If anything, if I can't keep this going, guys, I might switch over to the phone. I don't know, this thing keeps glitching out. If it glitches out again, just bear with me and I'll meet you guys over on my phone. But I think we're back for the moment. Let's see. Just trying to make my way through the comments as much as I can. Habanero's Dream. I think that's what it says. Just got off work. Hello from Belize. You've kicked some. I can't even say it. Get demonetized. Getting it ready. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I've been trying. Trust me. It's not for a lack of effort. That's for sure. It's just you know, it is what it is. Indica says, so does Dakota weigh out less than a red eye? Yeah, definitely. So I'm like, I should be like 3,800 to 4,000 pounds. I got to get it weighed, but I should be around there. Whereas the Hellcat's like 4,600 pounds at least. So I'm almost 1,000 pounds lighter. So 800, 1,000 pounds. Mr. Oz, what's up? Matthew, any 5.9 parts left over? Not really. I usually post them up. But I know Jason has a ton of stuff, so I'll see what he's got. But I've just been swamped. I can't even deal with part sales too much right now. Engine mounts. Yes, we're on the Hooker Blackheart engine mount system. It's not that. It's definitely a more solid setup, which is good for performance. But it's not that. That's the issue. Mr. Oss is a Ram 1500 transmission. No, it's not the solution or the issue. Matt Stang says, I wouldn't do it and travel that far. That's kind of where I'm at. Matthew, did you pass smog? I don't know. You're going to have to figure that one out. Lewis, get the drive shaft balance. I did. So that thing's been balanced and rebalanced multiple times. Have you checked the wheels for rounds? Yeah, they're brand new wheels. And it's, like I said, it happened at the track with slicks on. And I'm also feeling that vibration with the regular wheels or the the SRT wheels, so it's happening with both. So it's not the wheels. Slate angle. I think you probably mean like pinion angle. Pinion angle we checked. Test on a dyno. I was gonna do that too, but I tested it today and I'm feeling it vibrating. So it's like I said. And if you guys are just joining in the live, I was explaining to it earlier. You guys got to remember, so in the eighth of a mile, the truck accelerated to 100 miles an hour in the eighth. And we did the eighth of a mile in just over 7 seconds. So the distance from when it starts vibrating to when the truck exploded is literally like 1 second, maybe 1.5 seconds. So when I start to feel it vibrating, if I stay in that pedal for more than a second, it's like the difference between the truck staying together and the truck exploding. So like I cannot goof, whatsoever on this. It's like such a small margin of error when you have that much horsepower behind you. So that's what I'm trying to explain. Like if I had, if the truck had whatever, like the 300 horsepower, whatever it had before, when you're on it and you start to feel something shaking and it takes like, the speedo is going like this or RPM is going like this, you have time to be like, okay, let's get out of this thing because it's not that fast. But when you've got 750 horse just ripping through the gears and accelerating and everything, the margin of error is a lot smaller before between 70 and 100 miles an hour goes by in like just over a second. So it's playing with fire is the problem. Like I said, trust me, I'm doing my best. I want to go like I said earlier, I changed the transmission oil on my Ram. I changed the engine oil on the Ram. Started loading up the trailer. I got the new slicks that Kyle got us. They're mounted up on separate rims. Like I am ready to go, but it's just I don't think the truck is ready still. As crappy as that is for me to admit, I think that's still the problem. Yeah, as far as testing on a dyno, I tried to talk to a dyno about doing it, but the other problem you got to remember too is if I do go the dyno route, usually that means handing the keys over to somebody and hoping that they play within that window of, like I said, if they floor it and they stay in it for an extra second, that means that I'm giving the keys to somebody else to grenade the thing. So I don't feel comfortable with that either. I have to really entrust in somebody that's going to strap it to a dyno to find the vibration. So my next plan of attack is to try to find, like I said, I'm gonna reach out to GearFX, see if they've heard of anything of this nature. They'll probably be able to give me more insight and stuff to check and stuff like that, since they deal with Driveline stuff all day. So I want to see what they have to say, or if they have any resources, or maybe some other people I can talk to and try to get some answers. So but of course, it being the weekend, I won't be able to kind of talk to them till Monday. Darren says, what about the crank or ring gear? Did you reuse the ring gear from the same grenaded transmission? Maybe it's more, just trying to suggest. No, so it's if it was anything on the engine side, it would be RPM related, but this is speed related. So, like I said, because you gotta remember, if it was on the engine side, the engine goes, from whatever 500 RPM or whatever it might idle at or swing to, goes up to $6 grand shifts. $6 grand shifts. Like, it's not like when I redline it, it's not like the thing's shaking all of a sudden just with redline. It's when the speeds get up. So it's something on the drivetrain behind me, under and behind me, somewhere in that mix. It's speed dependent. So it has to do with something else. It's just trying to identify it and trying to wrap my head around it to figure out where it's coming from and talk to other people that have, obviously dealt with this kind of thing. Henry says the only difference is the two-piece drive shaft. Do you think that could be making the problem? I don't think so. And there's a couple reasons for that. So our one-piece drive shaft has a slip in it. A lot of Hellcat guys, an upgrade for them is to upgrade from a two-piece drive shaft to a one-piece, because a lot of Hellcat guys actually twist and break the factory drive shaft, so they'll end up going with a one-piece one. And they'll actually replace the drive shaft and get away from the carrier bearing. So one thing I will point out, I will admit that the Hellcat has a fixed differential since independent rear suspension. So their differentials here and their transmissions here, and neither one of them, move. I'm sure they, move a little bit under the rubber mounts, but, they don't have a live axle, whereas they have CDs coming out. But again, it's not doing it under acceleration or decels when I'm vibrating. It's just it's speed dependent. So, and that, you gotta remember, that truck barely has any travel to begin with anyways. Like, it's already lowered and it doesn't really move a whole lot. It's not like we have like a long arm travel suspension where it's going from, here up to here and we're going off jumps like a trophy truck. So it's not moving around as that much is what I'm trying to get at. Monstar. Like John Smith mentioned, the big dog will be at Roadkill. You get your exposure, collaborations, make connections. Somebody there will have some insight for your issue or the proper equipment. I just don't know if I can go to Roadkill with the truck to hang out, so to speak. I'm going to have to talk to the promoters of Roadkill and see what they have to say. Like I said, I'd love to go there and do exactly what you're saying and, kind of hang out, socialize. I don't know. But, I mean, that event is that event revolves around racing, and I don't want to be taking somebody's spot that could potentially be racing when truck's not in a position to race just yet. So I'll talk to them. I'll see if it's an option for me to go and like you said, hang out, get exposure, collaborations, see if somebody has an answer. And even if I could turn it into something where we drive out there, somebody says, hey, come by my shop and we can figure this thing out, I could go somewhere that knows what to do with it and try to pinpoint the issue. I mean, I'd be down for that, but that's all speculation, right? We don't know. I could end up driving all the way out there and it'd be a waste of time for that aspect of it. And then that would just put me further behind of trying to figure it out. The other thing that I will tell you guys is my initial plan, if the truck was good to go, I was going to drive out to Pontiac, go to Roadkill Nights. That's where it is, Pontiac, Michigan. And then after that event, I was going to drive south to Bowling Green, Kentucky, and I was going to leave the truck over at Holly until Holly's event, Mo Party, in September. So I was just going to leave it over there, assuming that the truck was good, it was functional. I was going to leave it there, come back. Again, I've said it a million times that I'm trying to get this place ready to sell and stuff. I was going to come back. It would give me a few weeks to do all that, focus on this so that I can finally make my escape and then go to the Mo Party events September 17th to 19th. So that was my original plan. But if I go all the way out to Roadkill, if I break the truck, or if I still don't have a fix for the truck, that means that the truck is going to be, like I said, I would have to come all the way back if I break it. If I don't break it, it's going to be sitting at Holly in Bowling Green until September, so I won't be able to work on it or have a fix for it. So if I have it here, at least I have the ability to mess with it and get some more testing in. But if I go all the way out to the Roadkill one, I'm already way the heck out there. It doesn't really make sense to drag it all the way back, and then a couple weeks later go all the way back to Bowling Green. Because like I said, I gotta be out in Bowling Green for Holly's event on the 17th of September. So that's what I'm trying to wrap my head around. Lewis says the angle of rear drive shaft could play a role. Yeah, we've checked the pinion angle, so we've got that taken covered. Nate says maybe the rear end can't take the power. It's a 9 1/4 rear end, so even the guys at Gear Effects says it should be good to go. Remove the drive shaft and rev the engine to see if it vibrates. No, so it's not that. Like I said, it's like I said, it doesn't matter what RPM you're at. It's when you're going a certain speed, you can feel something in the chassis. Well, it says I'm building a Hellcat full swap on a Dodge Charger RT 5706, adding twin Hellion kit, comp cam, boosted cam. What do you think about the transmission of the Hellcat? I would say, yeah, definitely run the 8 HP 90. We're just dealing with some sort of vibration, but the transmission itself is awesome. Daniel, I wouldn't go somewhere and not be able to go all out and show it off at its full potential. Yeah, like I said, if it was like a show event, if it's sitting at SEMA or it's, sitting at a car show event like SEMA's Carlisle where there's not really any racing activities, but it's like, a show, then yeah, but going to a race event to not race just kind of seemed a little weird to me, but I'll talk to the promoters, see what they say. Kilner, what's up, everybody? What's up? John, can you add a carrier bearing? You could. But if something's vibrating, something's vibrating. So we're still trying to figure that out. RTX says that would be a good idea to try to narrow down the source of the vibration. I agree. Matt saying that's a good idea, or wheel weights cause mine to vibrate at 80 mile an hour. Pretty bad in my Lightning. I had to get my wheels balanced. Yeah, this is like a different feeling though. It's hard to explain. It's hard to explain. And like I said, I don't want to come to any conclusions just yet, but I'm kind of narrowing it down at the same time. So I'll definitely keep you guys posted. But I mean, just off the top, new transmission, new drive shaft. So what's left in the equation, right? So like I said, part of me wants to, like I said, if something is bent in my rear end, whether it's the axles or something of that nature, like, part of me is kicking myself right now because technically speaking, I could go to a junkyard and pick up an axle for a couple $100 and slam it in there. And if it's all of a sudden cured, then I know what the problem is and was, right? I mean, that's something I could go to the junkyard tomorrow and, if I could find a Dakota axle, and it doesn't have to have a 392 gear ratio. We prefer the, crappy ratio. Like if I can get one that has a 323 in it, then that's exactly what I need. I don't know that it would survive the launch of that much power, but I mean, that is the rear end that we would need. So technically speaking, if I went to a junkyard and yanked one and threw it in there and all of a sudden it's cured, then, we know something is weird with the rear end. But like I said, new transmission, new drive shafts, still vibration. So I'm kind of just like moving my way down the chain of events. So, like I said, not jumping to any conclusions just yet. I don't want to blame it on, my rear axle being bent or something weird with that yet, but I'm just trying to rationalize what it might be. Gary says, I don't think it's the rear end, it's the gearing in the ZF. That's why the gear ratio in the rear is what it is. Getting a larger in diameter drive shaft should help. So that's what we have, but we're still having an issue. Darren says, yeah, but even if you go larger in diameter of the drive shaft, even if you go larger in diameter, it's still going to be spinning at the same speed. So having larger diameter doesn't change that too much. Like I said, it's still going to be rotating at the same speed. Darren says you may be onto something about the gear ratio difference you're saying. Makes sense. Like, see, that's the part that I hate. Is technically, if I could get a low enough number, and everybody always says it backwards, so I just explained it this way. If I could get a low enough number gear ratio, So right now the lowest I can go is a 323. If I could get a 262, that means that my drive shaft would be spinning that much slower, like a lot slower, and the vibration, if there is any, would move itself to like 130 miles an hour, and we could go send it. But I can't. That's the problem, is I can't get that low of a number for a gear ratio in the 9.25. But that's what's the kicker, right? If I could go ahead and get a 262, everything would be spinning so much slower with the same mile an hour that I could, you know, if there isn't vibration, it's going to push it to like 140 mile an hour. And we can go down the drag strip, but instead we're stuck with the 323, and I can't get my drive shaft speed down any further than it is right now. RTX, if the Dakota rear end doesn't shake, then maybe you need to calibrate the transmission for the upgraded rear ends. I don't think it's that. Mr. Oz says, I will get the whole piece from the track hard. I don't know what that means, but okay. Indica, almost 1,000 pounds and a bunch more gear. I bet it's a rocket at the hole. Yeah, like it's stupid fast. I took Ryan Bishop, and he has a stock Hellcat 2018, I think, and yeah, he was blown away by how quick it is. And I mean, it's hooking, you guys. Like, I know everybody's like, oh, this thing's never gonna hook. Like, it pins you to the seat. It's a wild ride. I took my neighbor for a pass too, and he was like giggling like it's crazy. WK says, with the crank issue, have you tried testing the crank position sensor? I have had that issue not starting when hot starting. Yeah, I know that's a common thing on the Magnum platform. I had that issue too, but yeah, it's not that, unfortunately. Reggie, what up? What's up? What's up? Everyone's saying what's up. What's up? What's up? What's up? Gary says, if it was a rear end, you would have things like rear gear hitting the diff cover, so it wouldn't cause your transmission to, well, Humpty Dumpty do itself. Not necessarily true. So if there is resonance or vibration or harmonics coming out of the rear end, it's attached to the drive shaft, so it'll, you know, if you get a vibration where the rear diff starts, you know, vibrating and bouncing, it can transfer that into the drive shaft, which, you know, can transfer it into the transmission. Like, you take a little vibration and you put a big pole on the end of it and you start whipping it, it's gonna do what you saw to my transmission. So like I said, not necessarily pinpointing it to that, but I'm just giving you an example of, you know, what could have went on. I'm laughing at the replay of me freaking showing you guys my theory of whipping the drive shaft. Everything lags over here, so I can kind of see, you know, what I was just talking about a second ago. Killer says, yeah, I don't think dyno testing is a good idea until you figure out what the problem is. I agree. Yep, don't do dyno. Yeah, because like I said, I'm literally handing, don't drop it, literally handing the keys over to somebody to see if they can grenade it for me. So it's not the best test either, unless somebody really knows what they're doing. Were you having the hot cranking issue with stock coils? Yeah, it's not the coils, because it's been doing it all along. Jerry Potter or Porter, all right. Jerry Porter's going for a ride. Brad, you simply need to change the drive shaft angle, probably a carrier bearing, or cock the motor mount and trans. No, we checked pinion angle. It's not that. We even corrected, you know, tried to optimize pinion angle, and the vibration stayed the exact same. Henry says, can you bring it somewhere for testing like tomorrow? I'm trying to see. Like I said, I'm kind of coming to the realization, maybe I'll take a quick look tonight. As much work as it would be, I'm curious to see if I can't find a stock axle and throw it in there in a hurry and just see if potentially something is bent or up with my rear differential, because it would be a lot of work. But I mean, if it would seal the deal on no vibration, I mean, I would be down, but I'll have to see what I can come up with. Daniel says, show events with that truck would be good exposure. I agree. So that's the other thing too, is there's Truck Mayhem coming up out this way in like 2 weeks. So that's like show, shine, whatever, and race. So I could go to that one with the Dakota, and it would be a good event for the truck too. But it wouldn't be, you know, as strenuous as this other event. Motor Trend, you know, the Motor Trend's Roadkill event would definitely be better for us. But like I said, it's not. Truck isn't race ready and it doesn't have enough testing to do it. I don't feel confident in doing it right now with the way my testing is going so far. Brent says you should go get the exposure contacts even if the truck is not 100%. Yeah, like I said, I'll reach out to the promoters of the events on Monday. I'm going to have to wait till, but I'll see what they have to say. Have you tried to swap the wheels out on the rear and see if it clears up? Yeah, so it grenaded with Hoosiers on it, and it's also vibrating with the SRT wheels, so it's not that. Lewis says, are you feeling a bounce at red line or at certain speed? Maybe tires bounce? No, so it's speed dependent. Will Matica says, what's up? How does the truck feel with new transmission? Yeah, it's still presenting a bit of a vibration, I believe. I'm going to try to do more testing on tomorrow, but I'll let you guys know. Leon says, replace the whole rear end. Yeah, like, I'm kind of just thinking about it, talking to you guys right now. Like, I don't know, I might, after I'm done the live, I might jump on the classified, see if I can find a rear end. Says, if I can find a rear end for $200, I mean, I've spent this much time and money on it. If I can find a rear end for a couple $100 or something, I'll go and slap that thing in and just try it. If it works, it works. Topher says, what about larger tires? It might slow down the drive shaft. Yeah, that's also true. That is also true. I mean, it's only so big. It's a little truck, right? So you can't go crazy on it. Henry says, maybe there's a transmission tune that could solve the problem. I don't think so. There's no tune that's going to fix a vibration, unfortunately. Could the shake vibration be caused by an electrical problem considering everything is controlled? I don't think so either. Panda says, coming in a bit late. Sorry if you answered this already, but would a two-piece drive shaft make a difference? Not necessarily. We got to figure out where it's coming from. So it might, you know, like I said, again, going back to my analogy of having a big long drive shaft, like, you know, swinging on the end of a pole, you know, it would be less because it wouldn't have, like, you take a drive shaft that's this long, and if there's a vibration over here, you're going to get, you know, this whip effect. But if you go like this and you have, like, if you have a two-piece drive shaft and it's fixed in the middle, then you can't flex this as much because there's supporting it. So if there's something wiggling at this end, you know, causing a vibration, you know, say it's our rear axle is vibrating, then it's not going to be, if your transmission's up here, it's not going to be, you know, giving this big whip effect because you've got something holding it in the middle. So a two-piece drive shaft might mask the problem a little bit. It would probably save the transmission if the rear end was vibrating, if that is what our issue is. But it's not going to solve the problem, if that makes sense. John, does the Hellcat trans normally come with a carrier bearing? Perhaps the trans needs tail support. No, so I think I'm probably, like I said, I'm just trying to catch up to you guys in the comments. So hopefully you guys didn't already hear this, but an upgrade for the Hellcat guys is to go to a one-piece drive shaft. So comes with a carrier bearing. Those guys snap the stock drive shaft very easily, so they go with a one-piece. They get rid of the two-piece and go with a one-piece drive shaft on the Hellcats. Matt Stang, give me the keys. I can drive. You don't even have a license, Lisa. I know, right? Brand says she came a long way. Thank you, sir. WK says, have you let it idle on the lift in gear in the air to see if you can see anything vibrating? No, I haven't. I could try. I was going to, this again goes back to what I was saying. I was thinking potentially about mounting a GoPro to the back and going out and testing, but at the same time too, like I said, it's like honestly like a second to 2 seconds from when it starts vibrating to when it exploded last time, so I have to be very careful. So I'd like to see if I could figure out the vibration before you know, going full send, but I could try putting it on the lift and seeing, but like I said, it doesn't do it at low RPM. That's the hard part. Tag says, hey, quick question, either for you or anyone else. I got a second gen Dakota 4.7. There's a knocker ticking from it. There's no loss of power. Do you have any idea what it could be? I would check your exhaust manifolds. It's pretty common on Dodges. Daniel, give me a ride before you leave town. Last time you seen me working on my truck trying to finish it for my girlfriend. I think I live close. Would be dope. It was at Black Ram. Oh yeah, what's up, man? What's up? Yeah, I don't know. Right now, it's not really fit for test drives or anything like that. I'm still trying to figure out what's wrong with it. Thomas, word. What up, Thomas? Thanks for being a member. Will Maddock, do you think the rear axles are a little off, like a little bent? I mean, something is up. I haven't found it. You know, obviously I will get to the bottom of it, but like I said, new transmission, new drive shaft that's been balanced multiple times, and I'm still getting a vibration. So, kind of working on a process of elimination here. Chad says, is that the stock rear end or from the Hellcat? This is the stock RT rear end, so it's a 12 bolt 9 1/4. Ben, hey John, I'm just tuning in. Just got home from a long day driving to Vancouver Island from BC. Interior and back. What's going on today? Yeah, so we've been talking for a while. I think like an hour or so, but just trying to see if we're gonna be ready. I'm trying my best to get ready. I'm still running into issues, both starting issues, and I think we still have a vibration issue. So I really only have tomorrow to try to sort this out. I'm gonna do my best, but at the moment I'm still up. My back's up against the wall. Reggie says, buy a new rear end. Yeah, like I said, if I can find one locally and I can run over tomorrow and grab it, I mean, it'll only take me a couple hours to stab that thing in. So if that's a fix, I'm down, but I'll have to look after this live. The transmission failure was so far forward. Where do you feel the vibration? Pedals or steering wheel? So the steering wheel doesn't vibrate. You can feel like in the chassis. So that's why I think it's, you know, driveline related. Speed related. So would running it without wheels or forward motion help pinpoint it? Maybe. Yeah, that's a good point. I might try. Maybe I'll try messing with some stuff tomorrow. I'm wondering if I took the wheels off and then try running it up to speed. The only problem is I don't really know how fast everything is turning. Drive shaft angle. Yeah, so we've already adjusted that and optimized that, and it's still doing it. Will Maddock, man, I hope you figure it out, because I know you want a full send. I do, trust me. And it sucks because, like I said, you can 0 to 60 the truck all day long right now, and it handles it. It's just the fact that the 8th mile you end up getting into, in our case, 100 miles an hour, and it doesn't like being there. So that's the problem at the moment. How old is the new transmission? It's 2018. I mean, the transmission is good. It's not that. I think we're on to other things now. As far as the issue, Raphael says everything will be fine, man. I don't agree on that. Like I said, I wish I could say that it's fine, but like I said, I'm pretty smart when it comes to this stuff, and there's still something that's up that I'm having a problem solve. Ben says, does that mean you're gonna have to take into a dealer to get it all working? No, I'll be able to get it working. I just, like I said, I still gotta it's just stuff that takes time. I mean, you guys gotta remember we completely custom built this thing from nothing, so there's not a bolt that went unturned. And when you build something like, when you change things that much, there's gonna be things you're gonna have to work through. But it's just trying to do it and trying to rush it are two different things. So I'm trying to do it. Trust me. Chad says, had a car with a wheel bearing issue once, hit 48 and up, wouldn't feel it below. Yeah, so I mean, it's not like you know, it's not a vibration that's normal. Like you don't feel in the wheel, you don't feel in the pedals. It's like you feel it like underneath you. So, and I mean, it's the same one that destroyed something. So I don't want to do it again. Is the problem. How's the suspension? The suspension's stiff, so there's a lot of feedback in that truck. Again, we have polyurethane, energy suspension polyurethane cab mounts, so the cab rides stiffer than a regular truck. It doesn't have rubber mounts anymore. The Hooker Blackheart's engine and transmission mounts are also polyurethane, so everything's stiffer there. So you get more feedback, you know, and it's welcomed. I mean, it feels good, it feels solid. So you get more feedback from the engine stuff, which is normal, but this vibration that we have is, you know, obviously pretty significant. So I gotta make sure that it's gone before I spin this thing up to 100 miles an hour at a 8th mile event. Ray says, could the rear axle mounts and brackets and bolts be worn out from under full throttle and then when causing the axle to slip around? No, so it doesn't move around. And like I said, it's not doing it when you're accelerating or decelerating. So one of the reasons why I point that out is because when you're accelerating, you know, your axle's twisting one way, and when you're, you know, decelerating, the axle's twisting another way. If the vibration isn't happening under either of those conditions, it's just speed dependent. So I could be hard on the throttle, or I could be cruising. But if you're at certain speeds, and like I said, it's kind of the window between like 75 or 70 miles an hour to 100, it's just vibrating. It doesn't matter if you're on the gas, off the gas, coasting, whatever. It's just at that speed. There's some sort of weird resonance that we're having. Habanero's Dream. Use the cruise control. Is it working? Slowly go up in speed without wheels till it starts. No, because I still have, like I said, I still got a lot of programming and wiring to do to get the speedo, or you know, the speedo and cruise control working. Put it on a computer. I don't think that's it. How about the flywheel? It hasn't been replaced. I'm just wondering. No, because like I said, it's not engine RPM related. Because like I said, the RPM will go up to like, you know, 6,000 or so shift, 6,000 or so shift. So it's not like when the RPM gets up, the whole truck starts shaking. It's when I get into the 70 to 100 mile an hour range. Loco GTR. Time for a 4-link to make sure the leaves aren't the issue. Yeah, I agree. I do want to eventually 4-link it. John, looking at your videos of the transmission tail assembly, I think it needs the drive shaft supported with the carrier bearing. If so, you might find that output shaft bolts loose again. Yeah, I mean, like I said, the Charger guys run a one-piece on it too, so I don't think that's necessarily the issue. But so I kind of told you guys the issue. I think you guys are familiar with what's going on. So my plan of attack, I think, is I'll probably jump off the live in just a second here. Probably end up seeing if I can find I don't know, I might try just looking at a curiosity to see if I can find an axle available at a wrecking yard locally or whatever for sale. Tomorrow I'm going to put in a good solid day to see if I can figure this issue out, both the starting issue and the other issue. I may have found something on the starting issue today. I also have a buddy checking out some things as well, so I'll mess with that more tomorrow. I'll also see if I can identify the vibration a little bit more tomorrow, double check that, and we'll see how far we get. Like I said, trust me, I want to go to the event just as bad as you guys want to see me at the event, but if it's not ready, it's not ready. If it is not ready, and I don't feel comfortable with, you know, racing it, there's other good things that will come out of this. So if I don't go to this event, I will be able to get the truck painted, which is definitely overdue. I know you guys, a lot of you guys on video think that the truck looks immaculate, but I can assure you that the truck needs a paint job. So it doesn't really need any body work. Like, there might be some superficial little dents and stuff, but I mean, most of the truck is straight and good to go. So I want to paint the truck, so I will have some downtime to paint the truck before the next event in September at Mo Party. So I'll be able to paint the truck. That means it'll be painted for Mo Party. I think the truck probably should be at SEMA. I'm still trying to figure out, you know, details of that, but I think it will be there. So that means it'll be painted there as well. So I'll be able to have all that stuff done, whereas if I go to this event, the truck is going to be out on the road, and I'm probably going to leave it in the kind of, you know, in the south for the next few months, because I don't need to drag it all the way back. If I go to Roadkill, I'm going to bring it to Kentucky, and then I'm going to leave it at Hawley until that event, and then I'm going to come back and do some other stuff. Like I said, get ready for my move and all that. So there will be some good that comes out of this. If I don't go to the event, the truck will stay here. I'll be able to tinker with it for the next few weeks, see if I can figure it out, you know, at my own pace too, so I won't be rushed to figure it out, which is another key thing. I can actually take it to some local events. I can take it to Truck Mayhem, go to that event. So there is some good that'll come out of it if I don't go to this event. So I'm looking at the positives for sure. The housing of the rear end could be bent some. Yeah, like I'm wondering if it isn't that. I mean, we don't know, right? I'm just saying, like, when you think about it, new transmission, new drive shaft, and still vibration. I mean, the only thing that we haven't replaced is, you know, that old ass rear axle. So, you know, could be maybe the axle's a little bit out, and maybe the axle's, you know, doing this wet noodle thing. Like if the axle's bent like this, and when I start getting up to speed and the axle starts doing this and the whole thing's jumping, I can't really, you know, who knows? It could be something like that. Panda says, what about the hood? So the hood, a lot of guys wanted to see the hood. Good news and bad news. The hood did not get done. I'll take that back. It did get done, but we weren't happy with the way it came out. So like I said, we were trying to do something different, trying to fuse a Hellcat hood skin onto a Dakota hood. Two things. The stock Dakota hood weighs a ton. It's stupid heavy. Well, that's the other good thing I can mention, you guys. So, I mean, the stock Dakota hood is a steel hood, and it weighs a lot. And I mean, we already got tons of weight on the front of the truck. So, when we built that hood, we tried it. I might show it to you guys at some point what the outcome was. But, yeah, we didn't like the way it came out. So, and it was heavy as heck. Like, I bet you that hood weighs almost 200 pounds. The thing is stupid heavy. But I think what we're going to end up doing, let me put down this stupid pink ruler and waving around. I think what we're going to end up doing is Duraflex did come up with a Hellcat's fiberglass hood, which would significantly save weight on the front. Plus, it's actually looks half decent. So I think we might go with that. So that's the other thing too, the good that'll come out of this. If I don't go to Roadkill, I'll be able to try to figure out what's going on with this thing. Even honestly, you guys, if it takes me driving across the country to some specialist that offers help to figure out the vibration, I will load the Dakota up in the trailer, take the camera, and take you guys with me, and we will go across the country to whoever can figure this out. So you have my word on that. So that becomes an option for us. And at the same time, too, I'll be able to get the truck painted. I'm probably going to pick up one of those fiberglass hoods, so I'll get the hood painted, so the truck will be looking, you know, as good as the rest of it does. So we got the interior looking good. And another important aspect is if I don't go out to this event, I can start focusing on my move, you know, getting this place ready and all that good stuff, too. So there is a lot of good things that'll come out of this. Plus, you know, going to the event, you guys got to remember the risk of me breaking something going to this racing event is going to be high again, given that there's not a whole lot of testing on the truck, and I still strongly feel like there's something up with it. So next question. Daniel, I don't think I ever asked, but what made you go with the Dakota instead of a different platform for the motor swap? A couple things. Originally we got that Dakota RT as something fun, and we started playing with the Magnum platform. I wasn't too impressed with the Magnum engine platform. We tried doing some stuff. It didn't really make a whole lot of power. And I've always liked that truck. So that's my second Dakota that I've owned. So I had one when I was younger. I had like a V6 extended cab, but in that intense blue pearl. So when I saw that one, I thought it was a cool little truck. And, you know, it would make for a cheap little project truck at the time. I didn't really know it was going to turn into this, but things progressed. Holly came out with some cool products, and yeah, one thing led to another, and here we are today. But just so you know, we do have another Hellcat swap on deck, so I think that's going to go into a 4th gen Ram single cab once I relocate. I just don't want to. I don't want to purchase or acquire another vehicle right now, given that I have to move everything. So less is better right now. Having less stuff to have to move, I think, is a better situation for us. So once we relocate, I'll start looking for the next platform and stuff. And I think by that time as well, I think most of the stuff on the Hellcoda should be sorted out to where we could actually go have some fun with it, which I saw some comments on the last video too, like, oh, all you do is ever work on the garage. Trust me, I feel the same way. I would much prefer going out and having fun and racing all this stuff, but unfortunately this stuff doesn't build itself, and I'm having to build, design, and engineer this crazy truck that we build. It's not like this is, you know, it's not like this is a popular thing to do, so I'm having to come up with the solutions for the problems, you know, the hurdles, the issues, all that stuff. So I'm having to do this one-man show myself to make this thing work. So I am, you know, I would love to sit there and, you know, even the last race event to go, you know, did I want to do just one pass? No, I would have liked to have been there all night making passes, having fun, doing content, you know, seeing how fast we get the truck to go. But the truck did not have the same agenda. It wanted to do what it did. So, yeah, like I said, I have to spend the time in the garage to be able to go out and have the fun, but it's just, it's kind of been an uphill battle lately. So, but with that being said, yes, would I would like to go to this event, but no, I don't want to go to the event just to be stuck in the garage fixing a bunch of broken crap again for another 2 weeks again, and not to mention the cost of having to do that all again. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. So unless this thing is 100%, I feel 100% confident in being able to just stab the throttle to the floor and not let up. If I can't do that, on a consistent basis with 100% confidence, then there's no point in going to a race event. So I got to get to that point with the truck. And right now, when I stab the throttle and I bring it up to 75, it still doesn't feel quite right. And again, I've said it a few times in the stream, but the amount of time between 70 or 75 miles an hour and 100 miles an hour is literally like only a second or two. Like there's such a small margin of, there's such a small window of error. Like if I stay on that throttle for a second or two too long, it's the difference between the truck staying together and being in the garage right now, ready to, take out, or it being in a million pieces scattered all over the pavement. So it's just kind of a hard thing to diagnose. So I want to make sure that I'm, doing the right thing and making sure I can figure out what's wrong with it before we send it. That's all. Let me catch up to you guys. Ben says maybe it's just best you hold out till September event. Yeah, because I mean the September event at Mo Party, like I could go do burnout shows, burnout competitions. I don't have to worry so much about exploding the thing at this high mile an hour until I can figure out what's doing it. So that's a cool thing. I can go to the Mo Party one. I can do the burnout stuff. I can buy. I'll buy a pair of crappy tires and I'll shred them. I don't care. But at the same time, I don't have to risk bringing the truck up to 100 miles an hour in the 8th mile. The other thing too is like we're only talking the 8th mile. Wait till we go to the quarter mile where it's double the length of the 8th and the truck is trapping like 150 miles an hour. Like if we can't even keep the truck together at 100 miles an hour in the 8th, how are we ever going to go to the quarter and set the quarter mile time? Like I really got to figure this out. And not that it's not for lack of effort. It's just nobody's had to figure this out, and it's posing an issue right now. Henry says, hopefully you can find a fix for the problem and can make the race. If not, we'll understand because all the time you put in and don't need to do damage again. Yeah, I mean, like, that's it. That's exactly it. Like, I don't, like, obviously YouTube is my job at this point, which is crazy to say, but it's my living, it's my livelihood. That's why, I'm spending my Saturday night, live streaming and keeping you guys updated because, I enjoy this stuff. It's fun. And it's, it's a passion, but I got to keep it that way too. I got to keep it as a passion, and I can't burn myself out, but with it either. So I have to be having fun with it, which I am, but I don't want to. And like I said, YouTube is my only income. So I will say, like I said, that I've spent probably almost $4,000 making that last track trip that we did. So it is what it is. I can't do anything about it now. I'm not going to complain about it. It happened. But at the same time, I don't want to repeat that because if I go to this next track event and something similar happens again, that's just, get out a $4,000 check and do it again. And that's best case scenario. That's if just stuff breaks. If anything else happens, if for some reason I lose control, crash the truck, injure myself, there's just so many other things. I'm trying to be a drama queen, but it's just the reality of it all. So I got to make sure that it makes sense, for my safety, for the truck's safety, and for my wallet safety. I got to make sure that this thing is 100% before we go, full send. And right now, trust me, I'm trying. It's just, it's fighting me at the same time. We will get to the bottom of it. We will get it sorted out. It's just trying to do it in, a matter of days before an event is just a tall order for a one man show here. If I was like, those TV shows where they have, a whole garage or shop and there's all sorts of, engineers and people on deck to come up with solutions, and, it goes to commercial break and it comes back and everything is, everything's just fine and dandy. But I don't have that. So you're just watching, a real guy and, real life on YouTube, trying to make big dreams, big things happen. But I'm just sharing with you guys my experience. So it's just, this is reality. This is the real deal. So you know, a lot of guys I think just watch these TV shows and, you know, they go to commercial break, or, you know, they watch like a Motor Trend show, and all of a sudden they come back and everything is just built. But I wish it was like that. I wish I could just, you know, cut to commercial break with you guys and, oh yeah, the truck's done, let's go. You know, that was a close one, but I unfortunately don't have that feature. I haven't found that button I can push on YouTube where we can cut to commercial break and all of a sudden be good to go. RTX says, and a way to do an independent rear suspension. No, I would rather stick with the solid axle. That's better for drag racing. So but we will 4-link it. If we 4-link it, then it's, you know, it's less potential for, you know, stress on the transmission. But for now, we're okay. Kilner says, for the starting issue, could it be that the starter was damaged from the accident? I don't think so. I think it's more of a charging issue. Something is a little strange for sure. So I added some grounds that seemed to help. It hadn't acted up until today. I found something a little bit tonight. I think one of the positive wires may have come loose on one of the fuse boxes, so I tightened that up today. It wasn't like, you know, hanging off, but I managed to get a little extra turn out of it. So I could kind of take the terminal on one of the fuse boxes and I could move it a little bit. So I snugged that up, but I haven't had a chance to test it because I found that late tonight. So I haven't checked it to see if that could have been doing it. But we'll see. We'll see if it does anything tomorrow. Matt says, yep, you definitely need to make it to the Mo Party. I'll definitely, like 100% I'll be at Mo Party. But it's just this racing event right now that's like I said, if Roadkill Nights was, you know, car show and race event, I would be there, but I'm pretty sure it's just race event. I'll find out though. DA Trucking, watch some John Dock videos. He does everything with racing, might help. Yeah, I'll check it out. Matt Stang donated $4.99. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it, man. Matt Stang says, everyone, if you want to support Boost Motorsports, click the right corner in the comment block, and it has a money symbol. Click on it and give him a super chat. Yeah, I appreciate it, Matt. Thank you, sir. I gotta get your stickers out too. That's the other thing too. Actually, I do have one of your stickers here. You said you wanted it in white, so I've got your Team Boosted Motorsports one. I just gotta get the other ones made. Here, Matt. I'll even throw in some of these. Let me know if you want any of these. I got some Hellcoda ones. I'll give you some Hellcoda ones if you're down. Because Matt's been a solid supporter. Not that everybody else hasn't, but appreciate your support, Matt. Matt's always dropping super chats and everything in these lives. So, like I said, I always give back. So I'll give you some Hellcoda stickers as well when I send out your package. Let me see. Let me keep ripping through the comments here. The killer says accident being from the donor charger. No, so I think I answered your question, but I don't think it's that. Steven says, how's the work on the hood going? I think I answered that. Yeah, so we weren't happy with it, and it was extremely heavy, so I think we're going to go with fiberglass. Matt Stang says, sucks. You could swap the rear end and see if it clears up, and then the old drive shaft in it. No, so that's the crazy part, is if I go to the wrecking yard, or if I find some axle locally that's used and I can slam that thing in, my new drive shaft will fit on it. So that's the one nice thing. Like I said, it might be a possible thing to try. It'd be expensive and a lot of, well, not expensive. If I could find one for a few $100, I'm down, but there'd be a lot of work, I should say. But if it works and it, you know, all of a sudden it works fine, I'm down. Holy smokes, Luis Garcia, thank you, sir. $50. Dang, I might be part way to this this used axle if by the end of the night. Damn, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Yeah, so like I said, I'm literally gonna jump on Marketplace right after this and see if I can't put my hands on a rear axle tomorrow for cheap. If I can, I'll go grab one and see if I can slam that thing in, and you know what I mean? I wouldn't have the limited slip in it or the locker in it, but if it sings down the road perfect and I can just put my slicks on that, I'll try it. I don't care. You never know. Where are we here in the comments? Sucks you could swap the rear end. If it clears up, then the old drive shaft. Yeah, so I answered that one. Brad says, I wasn't talking about pinion angle. Drive shafts need to be offset left or right, or up or down. Yours is a straight shot. It will not work. I don't know about that. No, we checked. I mean, we checked the drive shaft angle, if that's what you're asking. So yeah, I mean, we've checked all those dimensions, so it's not. I don't think that's the issue. Daniel, that Dakota is hungry for money, but honestly, unique build. Everyone swaps a lot of newer stuff and not something like the Dakota. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I've watched like the Cal SRT guy, and like it's definitely cool seeing what he does. But I mean, it's like Lego for him, right? Like you take any LX platform car and you can just sit there and cookie cutter it, and just everything bolts up, right? You can bolt in, you know, any dash pretty much into one of these LXs. You can take Hellcat, put it in. You can put the Hellcat drive shaft. You can put Hellcat exhaust. Like, it's pretty cool. You can do that, and you could just sit there and put the wiring in it, and all of a sudden you've got yourself, you know, a Hellcat 300C, or you know, then he red eye swapped it. Now he Hellefant swapped it. Like, that's super cool, but it's this is just a different route. It's a lot of work trying to custom make stuff, whereas that's more just bolt-ons. Which, like I said, nothing against him. Like that's awesome that you can bolt on all that stuff and make yourself something unique, but it's just a different road we went down. Part of me, like, part of me is jealous. Like, I do think at some point in time, I do just want to get a Hellcat and, you know, build it up and race it and have some fun with it. Something that it's not so custom to where I can, you know, go out and still be Mopar, but go out and have some fun without having to spend so much time in the garage. Like I said, I don't want it just to be a channel of me in the garage working all the time, but you know, it's just what it's been lately to build this, you know, build this vehicle. But I do want to spend more time at the track than at the garage is the goal. So like I said, it might take me, you know, getting a Hellcat and just, you know, beefing it up and going and have some fun with it and being able to go to the track. If the Dakota's down, we can just take the Hellcat and go to the track. I don't know. Let me know if you guys want to see something like that. I'd be down, you know, once I relocate and, you know, if this YouTube is doing good and I can afford it, I would be down to do something like that. But yeah, the Dakota is definitely burning a hole in my wallet. That's for dang sure. Leon says, fix it first. I think I'm with you there. Darren says, I think after our talks tonight, you're right, John. Pass on this event, get truck figured out, and finish the way you like to be and deal with your house move, and it will all be worth it in the long run. Yeah, so there's some exciting stuff happening too. Like, not if, but I will be able to, because the market's hot right now. So I was kind of thinking of some crazy stuff with this whole thing. So if I end up selling this place, you guys, and when the closing date happens, whenever that is, if I can't find, you know, my ideal property, wherever that is, really I'm gonna look around, and whatever place I can find that has, you know, if I can find a place, ideally I would like to find a property that has the house on it and a large shop already on it, so that I can just literally move in and just start doing my thing and, you know, doing my thing with you guys. But if I can't find that ideal property, at first I was about to buy a cheap motorhome, like I think we were talking a few Friday nights ago. But if I can't find the ideal property, I would like to get like a nicer motorhome, something that I can go to events with and travel and get out on the road with you guys, and, you know, take some of our projects with us. But I was thinking, like, maybe if I got like a, you know, $50,000 or $60,000 ish motorhome, something that's not a complete piece of junk. You know, nothing's gonna, you know, be too crazy, but, you know, 50, 60 ish. If I bought something like that, technically I could gypsy it for a little bit, and I could survive living in that for a few months while I, you know, it would buy me some like almost an insurance policy, so I could stay in that and find my ideal property, rather than me having to be forced into a position to try to just buy something. You know, maybe not something that I'm too excited about. This would allow me to be able to travel, like I said, go to events, have something to stay in, but at the same time buy myself some insurance, so that I can literally just sit there and just wait for the perfect property, and then be like, okay, now it's time to move, you know. Or I could just float around and check out some different areas and see which area I would ideally like to live in, and I could just park my sweet RV wherever I want, go to events, have some fun, put the rest of my stuff in storage, like literally get a sick RV with a diesel in it, put my 24-foot trailer behind it, put the Dakota in it or whatever, put the other 2 vehicles in storage, or I guess 3 vehicles, whatever, and just go out on the road and have some fun and bring the camera with me. And I'm not going to go MIA, but on YouTube, I'll just document with you guys. So, and again, huge thanks to everybody that's contributed tonight. You know, little or small. You know, Lewis with $50, Matt Sang with $5. I appreciate it, you guys. And then we just got a new member. Let's see. I don't want to mess up the name. Pennsyltucky. Is that Pennsylvania and Kentucky mixed together? But thanks for becoming a member. Like I said, send me an email so I can have your information so I can send out your sticker package. I'm going to try to get to that hopefully before I leave. Or if I don't leave, I'll definitely have time to do it next week. That's kind of what we're talking about right now. But yeah, thanks for everybody for contributing and joining. But we'll still stay on. It seems like there's a bunch of people up late today, so we'll keep the live rolling. Okay, so Leon said fix it first. Darren says figure it out first. Daniel says a lot of YouTubers don't do the live thing, so respect for that. No, thanks, man. I kind of like it too. It's kind of cool because, like, you know, honestly, it was kind of weird at first talking on live, and even just doing the YouTube thing. You're talking to my camera's outside right now, but you know, talking to a camera and you look like a psychotic person sitting there talking to this thing. But I've gotten better at it. Even right now, I'm literally talking to my computer like a lunatic, but it's cool because I've gotten used to it to where I can talk to my computer like a lunatic, but you know, I'm reading the comments, and as I'm talking, you guys are engaging with me and stuff like that. So it's cool. But yeah, I definitely like doing this. I got to do more of it, and I mean the channel's growing, which is cool. Like I think we'll be at 100K pretty soon, and like I said, I'll keep cranking out the content as long as you guys keep giving thumbs ups, and as long as you guys keep liking the content, I'll keep doing my thing. Let's see. Matt says, oh yeah, so Matt was saying about super chats. Yes, sir. Thank you. So there is a super chat option in these lives, which is cool. Again, thanks to Matt and Lewis for dropping those super chats tonight. Appreciate it. It might go towards our used axle if I can find one tonight. Like I said, if I can find a used axle tomorrow for a couple $100, I'll just go and drop a few $100 and slam that in, because there's nothing else I can change. I just put a new transmission in. I just put a new drive shaft in. I don't know what else to try in my scrambling last ditch efforts to make this thing work. Like I said, it's the same vibration with a new transmission, a new drive shaft. So I'm just wondering if maybe something's vibrating in the rear axle now. So you never know. How about transmission mount? If it's shaking from under you, it could be transferring the vibration into the frame and the harmonics feeding back into the transmission. Well, you got to think too, like what's causing the vibration. So yes, I agree that having a stiffer polyurethane transmission mount is going to make you feel the vibration more, but it's not gonna be the source of the vibration. So there has to be something that's doing one of these. Maybe it's a little bit like that, but that energy is being transferred right now. And honestly, it's probably a better thing that I have a solid, have the polyurethane transmission mounts, because if we had soft rubber ones, that means everything would be swinging around even more than it is. So, yeah, something is causing the vibration. We're just, like I said, I will find it, and when we find it, everybody's going to say, oh, I wish we found it sooner. And I agree. Trust me, I wish I found it sooner too. But, the more I talk about it in tonight's live, I mean, new transmission, new drive shaft that's been balanced multiple times to be double, triple, quadruple sure that it's not vibrating. You never know if it could be something bent in the rear axle. I mean, that axle is, used and old, and it probably has like over 170,000 miles on it. Yes, we put all new components in it, but doesn't change the fact that something could be bent in it, right? You never know. I mean, the axles are still original, so you never know. Loco GTR, triangulated or parallel? Gonna show us the process. What do you mean? Yeah, as far as fixing it, I'll always document everything I'm doing. So I'll show you guys. I'm wondering. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking maybe I should, if I can find a used diff, I'll definitely toss that at it. Somebody else became a member. Let's see. Martin, thank you for coming a member, sir. Again, same thing I said to Pennsyltucky. Send me an email so that I have your information so I can send you off a sticker package. And if you guys are down, just for tonight, remind me, because like I said, I get, not to sound conceited, but I get a lot of emails and a lot of people hit me up. It's just, it is what it is these days. But for tonight, if you guys join, if you guys want, I'll send you some Hellcoda stickers too. So just remind me though, because like I said, with everything going on right now, I'm just like heads in the cloud. But for joining, becoming a member today, I'll send you guys some Hellcoda stickers along with the normal sticker package if you want. So just make sure to include that in your email when you send it to me, and I'll gladly throw those in. Let's see. Where are we at in the comments? Henry says, and go to a commercial, come back, and it's gone. He says, laugh out loud. Where did it go? My comments jumped all over the place again. You're all that and more. No, but I'm serious. Like that's the way a lot of those, different shows work, right? I wish, like I said, I wish I could go to commercial break and come back and my vibration is fixed, but Martin says the Hellcoda stickers look nice. T-shirts. Yeah, so I'll have to make a Hellcoda shirt. Right now I just have the single cab Dakota shirts. I think. Let me see. I can show you guys the single cab one. I think I can pin it in here somehow. Where the heck is it? There's a way for me to show you guys that shirt. I'll just put it here. There's a white one, but you can get it in any color. So here's the shirt. Okay, so you guys should be able to see it in the comments here in just a second. Okay, so you can see, like, there is a Dakota shirt. It doesn't say Hellcoda on it because this was kind of before that, but there is the option for that too. But yeah, I'll, like I said, once I get some downtime and this freaking possessed truck gives me a bit of a, a mechanical break so I can just enjoy it for a bit, I got some housekeeping to do for sure. I gotta, do some stuff with the house, and I also got to get, some new shirt designs and all that stuff ready as well. Tinker Garage says, do you win anything at Motor Trends? Honestly, if I'm being, completely frank with you guys, I'm not I wouldn't expect the Dakota, the Hellcoda to win the whole event. There's some serious race trucks and cars and everything there. There's some legit competitors with some ridiculously fast stuff. So, bringing it to that event would be fun. It'd be cool for the exposure, but we aren't by no means going to win the event. I'm sure, winning the whole event, because there's two main classes. There's small tire and big tire. I'm sure if you win those classes, you're probably going to win something, but I wouldn't expect us to win the event with, a stock Hellcat motor in a little pickup truck. It's, like I said, it'll be quick. It's not going to be the slowest thing there, that's for sure, but it wouldn't win the event. I think we got a long ways to go before we could, try to make that claim or try to take that top step for sure. If that's the direction we want to go. I think at this point that truck is kind of a mix of, show and race. I don't think it's 100% show truck, and I don't think it's 100% race truck. It's kind of like a balance between. If we were going 100% race truck, we would have gutted the whole thing, and you just see a steering wheel and a seat. But we kind of went, somewhere down the middle. It's a super fast truck that can be also presentable, and it presents itself well at a show setting. So, I mean, we could build something else, and we will. I mean, it's not going to be our last build, but we'll probably build something that's more race-oriented, but I don't know what that is. It depends when we're ready, like I said, and what vehicle comes up that we can mess with. Let's see. Matt's saying, hell yeah, yes, sir, that will work. Okay. Yeah, Matt, just, like I said, just remind me in the email. Like I said, I remember right now, but I got so much on my mind right now. Just remind me again, and I'll hook you up with some extra stickers too. Apologize for the wait again. There's somebody else that I have to send their stickers to as well. And now there's 2 more members that just joined now, so I'll add it to the list. Martin says, I'll definitely love to order them. Yeah, so like I said, there's a Dakota shirt there. You can check it out. But I will come up with Hellcoda as well. Matt Stang says, Hellcoda sticker will be cool with me. All right, you got it, bud. Lewis, thanks again, man. Thank you, sir. Holy crap. Lewis Garcia. Lewis gave you 50 for 50 Happy Meals now for the trip. I know. Awesome, Lewis. Martin says, a great building and learning experience. Thank you, Martin. I appreciate it. Lewis says, keep the good stuff coming. Thank you, thank you. I definitely will. Lewis Garcia coming in clutch. You was so close to me. Charlotte, North Carolina. Catch you soon. Somewhere I must see it. Definitely, man. Like I said, just come out to some different events. I'm going to try to, that's the ultimate goal, is finish this thing and get out to more events. Trust me, I'm trying. It's just, this thing is possessed. It doesn't want to stay together for me. But we'll get there. We'll get there. I think it's wise to be careful with the Dakota at this point. Working double shifts on it is wearing you down at this point. Recipe for disaster. Yeah, I agree. Like I said, being super tired and trying to race out there, like literally race out for a race is like, I agree with you. It's not the best idea. Matt Sang says, what about your tools and car storage? Yeah, so I would, like I said, I kind of figured that out. I think I would probably get a few storage units. If I got like, so storage units, I've rented one before. If you guys actually look at some of my first YouTube videos a few years ago, I was actually, that's all I had. I didn't even have a garage. So I was renting a room in a house. I had roommates, and like, you guys probably see my garage, you know, depending on how long you guys have been with the channel, you're probably like, oh, look at this guy, he's spoiled, he's got a lift in his garage. If you guys check out some of my videos from not that long ago, like 3 years ago, I was, just to let you guys know, I was living in a roommate situation. I rented a room in a house, and I did that for how many years did I do that for? Like 3-4 years. I was renting rooms. But I did that strategically. I was renting a room. I didn't rent a whole apartment because I rented a room in a house with roommate situations so that I could save for a house, which is what I got. But I did that so that I wasn't spending a lot of money on rent. And then I ended up coming across the Viper, which made no sense to buy at the time because I didn't even have my own garage. But I bought the Viper, and then I had to rent a storage unit to have my Viper. I had to put my Viper in a storage unit that was an hour away just so I could afford it because it was super expensive where I was living at the time. So my Viper was stored in a storage unit an hour away, and that was my little shop. I had my tools there, and I had like my little things. I had no lights, no electricity, no heat, no AC. It was just like stupid hot, like almost out in the middle of the desert. And if you guys watch, you'll see some of my first videos at a storage unit. Like you'll see me just working at a storage unit. But I knew what the end goal was. I knew, to start doing that. I'll keep saving. And then I had enough money to buy a place, and then got this, strategically got this place, knew it had, a garage with 10-foot ceilings that I could put a 2-post lift in, and rolled the dice, took a gamble, and started this whole YouTube gig and started some cool projects. So I don't know how we got on that subject, but yeah. Going back to the storage units, I had a 10 by 30, so 10 feet by 30 feet, and you could fit a car in there, or truck, and then you could fit stuff around it. So I was thinking if I got, at least a couple of those, I could put 2 of my vehicles in it, put, furniture and stuff from my house around the vehicle in the storage unit, and then, if I had 2 of those units, and then take the rest of the stuff on the road with me, get an RV, hook up the trailer with my truck on it, and hit the road. So that's kind of what I was thinking. But we'll see. We'll see when that time comes. But that's kind of my plan if I can. Martin says you'll love Charlotte, North Carolina. Do it now. Yeah, I've decided I'm definitely gonna stay south. I grew up in the cold and the snow, so I definitely want to stay south. If you're down to move here to DFW, you're gonna find a bunch of places. Luckily, it's still not stupid Cali prices. But it's insane for us down here. Yeah, I've seen prices go up for sure. Only thing with Texas is property taxes are crazy because that's how the state generates its its income, because there's no income tax in Texas, so they have high property taxes to generate their state income. So I know property taxes are kind of through the roof over there. DA or I think DA Trucking or DA Trucking. Strange Engineering might be able to help with the rear drive axle. Check it out. Yeah, I'll check them out. I've heard of Strange. Weber says, "How's Texas? Sorry I wasn't able to meet you. No problem, man. Texas is always a good time. I like that state. A lot of good food, good people. Can't go wrong with Texas." Oh snap, Pennsylvania in the house. Yes, sir. Weber says, "I like your SRT 10 Ram." Yeah, I like it too. I gotta show a little bit more love, but I've just been so occupied by this Dakota. It's been eating up all my time and energy. But Eric says, "Can you do the supercharger cooler system like the red eyes will help with your starting issue?" Yeah. So it's not. I wouldn't say that that's causing the starting issue, but yeah, I kind of want to do the supercharger. The inner chiller system is what they call it. So if you guys don't know about that system, there's companies that it takes the AC compressor and it plumbs through a cooler that cools down your supercharger. So you have like crazy cold air cooling your air charge on your supercharger. So it keeps your intake air temperatures way down. Never actually seen one, but I know the concept of it. It hooks up to your AC system. And then you end up, like I said, having making way more power because you have cold air going into your engine, and you can make a lot more power. It's kind of a cool concept. So once we get everything sorted out and you don't have the issues we have right now, I'll definitely look at, power adders. But for now, we're just trying to get through with the stock stuff. Matt saying, "Oh snap, Martin was in the house." Yes, sir. Spencer Thompson, welcome to Team Boosted. So yes, make sure you send me that email. And if you want, like I said, if you want the Hellcoda stickers, I'm kind of just throwing in tonight just because I feel like it. But if you want the Hellcoda stickers, probably make them a little bigger than that. Those are kind of. I was originally going to put these on my caliper. That's why I have these little guys here. But I'll probably make them a little bigger for you guys. Unless you guys want them small, I can keep them small. But yeah, hit me up with that email. Let me know if you want the Hellcoda stickers or not. I'll throw them in. Kind of throwing it in for an added bonus for anybody that wants to be a member tonight. Let's see. Every time I move around the chat thing jumps all over. I'm trying to get to everybody's comments. Martin says, "I'm finally a member. My sons and I love your channel." Awesome. Thanks for the support, man. Like I said, send me that email so I have your address so I can send you out the stickers and stuff. Loco GTR 4-link, that's the plan. Ultimately, once we get everything else sorted out, 4-link is definitely the way to go. So that's what we are going to do eventually. Tinker Garage, do they make a chrome moly axle for the Dakota 12 bolts? I think there's a company, I want to say Moser makes axles. I got to double check. But I got to figure out what's causing the issue first. Matt Sang says, "Hellcoda stickers for the win." Yes, sir. Leon, putting in a good axle in a bent rear end housing won't help. Yeah, so I wasn't really, when I was saying axle, I'm talking about the whole assembly. Like, if I could buy the whole assembly with the pumpkin and everything, I wanted to just see if I could replace the whole thing. Carrier and all. Just literally just take the whole thing, throw it in there. I don't care if it's just got a regular one-wheel peel or a limited slip in there. I just want to see if I can isolate the issue, so at least I know what direction we need to go in. If I can find one for a couple $100, I'll just grab it and test it. Dude, keep up the hard work. Thank you, Rusty. Sunshine all day. Hi, John. Hello. Brian, I'm glad you are real life stuff, not some BS TV show with everything perfect. Us regular guys can relate. Yeah, I mean, I agree, Brian. Like, you obviously are on the same page, but there's a lot of people that follow the channel that don't relate, and they expect the TV show stuff. So, like, if you go through the comments on the last video where I said, like, am I going to make it? Which is a pretty legitimate statement. It's not even clickbait. Like, I just finished re-ing the transmission and a bunch of stuff on the truck to try to get it ready. Am I going to make it? Legitimate title, legitimate video. It is what it is. There's people in the comments on the last video that are like, all you do is work in the garage and change your oil. Like, if you don't go to this event, I'm going to unsubscribe. Like, okay. And what, you would much rather see me go and, you know, grenade a $4,000 transmission to make you happy? Like, no, it's not going to happen. So, Brian, you sound like you're on the same page. You sound like you're cool. But, I mean, not everybody is. Everybody's, you know, I guarantee you that guy, whoever made the comment, and there was a few of them like that. Not that many, but, you know, a handful of them. I just left them up. Sometimes I delete ones that are stupid, but sometimes I leave them up, and I kind of enjoy seeing some of you guys go to bat for me and kind of putting some people in their place. I just don't have time to answer everybody's comments. I answer the good ones, I answer the genuine ones, but some of the stupid ones, I leave it up to you guys to put people in their place, which is fun. I mean, I don't know, I enjoy it. I kind of get a kick out of it when you guys are, you know, some of the loyal subscribers, you know, got my back on some of these clowns in the comments. But yeah, I mean, this is real life. Sometimes it always doesn't work out. Like I said, I obviously held my end of the bargain of the deal up. You know, I put the truck back together and I put all new parts in it, and it's still acting up. So I mean, it's not out of my hands, but it's out of my control. I'm doing everything I can to make the event, but I will try. Like I said, I'm gonna throw another day at it tomorrow, and if I wanted to leave tomorrow, like early in the morning, to give myself a buffer. Again, it's 33 hours of driving to get there, and I wanted to leave tomorrow so that I could potentially get there on like Thursday comfortably, you know, or sorry, get there maybe Wednesday, Thursday morning, have a day to unwind, because after traveling that much, it beats you up. You know, spend the day Thursday relaxing, you know, whatever, and then Friday I have to be at the event. I think there's testing and stuff, and I have to go check in, sign in, whatever, and then Saturday is the actual event. So I was planning to get there like Thursday-ish, or sorry, Wednesday, Thursday, but I'm leaving tomorrow, but it's not happening at the moment. I still could potentially leave Monday and make it, but we're going to have to see how things go. We'll see how tomorrow goes. Maybe, you never know, I could jump on live tomorrow and tell you everything's ready to go and I fixed something and let's go send it, but as of right now, I'm doing my best, guys. Daniel says, I'm swapping a 2020 6.4 392 turnkey pallet from Cleveland Power and Performance in my 64 D100. I like that truck, actually. If you've been a part of the channel for a little bit, you'll know that I'm a big fan of the 64 D100s. And it's sitting on a 97 Dakota frame. Oh, interesting. Nice. That sounds like a fun project. That's cool, too, because you can use the swap kit. But, yeah, it sounds like an awesome project. Mike says, what happened with your buddy's Black Dakota you were working on? He still has it. He's going to send it in for paint. He's kind of, you know, leaving me do my thing and, you know, get my truck sorted out, because that thing has just been an absolute time monster, my truck, that is, just to get ready. But he has some plans for his. We probably are going to slap the Pro Charger on his and stuff. The Pro Charger that I originally borrowed, which is his Pro Charger, we're probably going to put it back on and do some fun stuff with that. So, but he wants to send it in for paint, so hopefully he gets painted soon so we can continue some stuff. Michael says, sorry for not knowing the name of the transmission. That was embarrassing. No worries. No worries, no worries. Oh, the 8HP90 in the comments. Yeah, no big deal, Michael. You're good. You're good. Christian says, I'm saving up to do a 2003 Durango first-gen swap with a Hellcat all-wheel drive. Any pointers? I don't think you'll, like, there's not that much room in there is the problem. Like, to try to fit a Hemi in there and have all-wheel drive, like, there's not enough room. I mean, I'm not saying you can't do it, but you're going to be very, very space limited. So just remember, with the Hellcat in my truck with two-wheel drive, we barely squeezed it in there. So, not saying it can't be done. There's been crazier things done, but you're going to be super tight on space. RTX, I remember those videos. The lighting was insane, I know, right? So RTX has been around for a minute. We got another member. Let's see. Perry, welcome to Team Boosted. So again, send me your contact information. I'm throwing in Hellcoda stickers today for anybody that wants to join. And if you want Hellcoda stickers, I'll throw them in. I got to cut some more of them, but it's kind of just an extra perk I'm throwing in tonight because I feel like it. So, but just remember to remind me in the email that you send me that you want Hellcoda stickers included, and I'll make sure to give them to you. So thanks for the support, guys. We got a lot of support, so it's cool to see. Like I said, honestly, you guys probably seen in the last video if you guys watched it. Like, my spears were a little bit crushed. Like, I just been so beat up, you guys. It's been an absolute heat wave here. I don't know if I told you guys this or I was telling my buddy on the phone, but it's been like a stupid heat wave here. It's been like, 105 to 110 all week long. So what I was having to do, because it was so stupidly hot outside, and I don't have AC or anything in the shop, I was getting stuff done throughout the day, but I was trying to edit footage in the morning, get any parts ordered or whatever I could during the day. And then I was starting to work on things at maybe 4 or 5 in the afternoon when the sun was starting to go down so that it wasn't so freaking hot. And then I was, honest to God, you guys, I was working till 2 in the morning on the thing every day to try to log hours on it, because that's when it wasn't as hot outside and I could actually get some stuff done without being, drenched in sweat or just sweating my butt off. So it was been rough, and long nights, early mornings, and just kicking my butt. And I got it done, but it's, there still seems to be something up with it. So it wasn't for lack of effort, but we still got potentially one more day if I can figure this out and solve it. But we'll see how tomorrow goes. But yeah, everybody that joined today, make sure you send me that email. And you guys, like Matt said, you can also do a super chat if you want to support the cause. Because like I said, I dropped probably about 4K on the last track event, so I don't have that kind of dough to throw at this project. If I go to the track twice a month and I blow 2 transmissions up, it's you're gonna see Boosted Motorsports be Busted Motorsports, and we're gonna have to shut the channel down. But we'll change the channel name to Busted Motorsports, and we'll close this thing down, and I'll go get a job at McDonald's. That'll be the new channel. You guys can watch me flipping burgers at McDonald's trying to pay for these things. Let's see who's next in the comments. North of Memphis, Tennessee, Matt starts saying. Or Bowling Green, Kentucky is Pimp too. Yeah, like I said, I kind of want to stay a little south. RTX, yeah, property taxes are a horrendous mess, and people actually get priced out of their houses due to that. Yeah, it's pretty crazy down there. I do like that it's centrally located, so as far for me to go to different events, it's you can kind of, everywhere is 10 hours away kind of thing, or max 10 hours away, since you're right in the center of the country, which is kind of cool. One good thing about Texas. Pennsyltucky says, I gotta say hello to the Hellcoda in Carlisle. Unfortunately, you were not there at the time. My son was so excited to see it in person. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I was there for the most part. I did, there's some times where I had to go get lunch or, kind of get some air or whatever, but I was there for the most part. But apologize you missed me. I'm probably going to be there next year too as well, but we'll be making our rounds to a bunch of events. American Bacon, yes sir. Can't go wrong with some American Bacon. I always got your back, man. Thank you, sir. Matt saying, really, people are unreal. You're one real deal YouTuber. They want that crap. Go watch Street Speed. I know, right? I still haven't even caught up on Street Speed's videos. I saw that he wrecked some U-Haul trucks. I don't know if he bought new Chevy trucks and put U-Haul stickers on them, got that In Chains design guy to make it look like a U-Haul and then trash it, or whether he legit wrecked or totaled U-Haul trucks. I want to watch that at some point. I just been way too busy, honestly. I'd rather, rather than me watching, dumb videos, I'd rather, get to some of you guys in the comments and kind of get back to you guys and deal with my own YouTube. But I have watched some of his videos for sure. American Biking. I drive for a living, brother. I understand completely. Yeah, I get it, man. Yeah, it definitely takes a lot out of you going across. But I gotta, if I end up going to this event, I gotta leave some margin of error, right? If I get a flat or something, kind of have to, it's one thing if you're just going on a casual trip, but if you have a deadline to meet, you gotta have to be somewhere by a certain date. I want to give myself a day or two buffer just to, like I said, unwind, plus kind of if there's any incidentals, if something breaks down, at least I can still make the event. So. American Bacon says, I really enjoy watching your content. You're one of my favorite YouTubers. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thanks for your support on the channel. I'll keep doing my thing, and as long as you guys are liking the content, I'll keep pumping out videos. We got Perry as well. So yeah, everybody, make sure you send me those emails, so I have your addresses, so I can send you out the package. Christian says, "I'll see what I can do. I just don't want that slip out from the back. I have an SRT 2010. Honestly, like my truck's 2-wheel drive, and we're hooking and booking. So don't rule out 2-wheel drive as being able to hook. You just gotta do things right." Jojo, are you familiar with the Chrysler 2.7 engines? And if so, if I was wondering if I should look out for some since my buddy got a Charger with new to them. No, I don't really know too much about the 2.7s. I haven't dealt with those. I don't even know if they're reliable or what. Honestly, Google's probably your safe bet. I haven't had one of those motors to be able to give you too much experience. Matt saying, "I grew up in New Orleans, Louisiana, and I used to party in Pensacola all the time, probably over 100 plus vacations." There you go. Pensacola sounds like a nice spot to be at too. Trader John's and the Dock were my favorite bars to visit. Tennessee, no state. Darren says, yeah, no state tax in Tennessee, which is a plus. Darren says, laugh out loud, he put stickers on it and made U-Haul people think it was their truck. I saw the episode. Yeah, that's what I figured he did. Like, I honestly figured he stickered it up and tried to make people think he was actually rented a U-Haul when he didn't. Typical street speed 717, but hey, you can't knock it. It works, right? He's got like 1 million followers. Definitely doing better than our little Mopar channel so far. But who knows? I could maybe take a clip shot of this video from here saying that, we're only a little channel, and a year from now we're a big channel. You never know. And Matt saying, "So that's funny. I bet U-Haul is about to freak out." I know, seriously. Can you imagine? They're probably about to sue his butt. So, alright. Oh. Can't believe you guys are up this late. You guys are super up late. But, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Like I said, I'm going to try to get some rest for tonight, you guys. See what I can accomplish tomorrow. Like I said, if I felt comfortable with it, and honestly, if the truck wasn't so fast, I know it sounds stupid to say, but if the truck wasn't so fast, it wouldn't get up to speed so quickly. Like, if we had that 5.9 motor in there, if we had the 5.9 motor in there, there's no way we're getting up to 100 miles an hour in the 8th mile. We would have been able to just send it full send, and it would have never grenaded. But when you have something that's got this much power and it's freaking ripping and gripping, and it gets up to 100 miles an hour in the 8th mile, which is flying. So just as a reference point, you guys, I don't know if I told you, but so my buddy's single cab Rams, like the ones that were running like low 7s and they've even broken into the 6s, they're only running like 85, 86 miles an hour in the 8th, and the Dakota went and did like 100 miles an hour in the 8th. So those trucks are fully prepped for racing, and we beat them by like 15 mile an hour on the same night with our first pass, and I didn't even fully send it on that first pass because it's literally the first pass. So just as a comparison for you guys, yeah, I mean, if we had the 5.9 in there, we could just floor it from here to Mexico, and it still wouldn't hit 100 miles an hour. So just something to keep aware of as well. I could floor the Dakota with the 5.9 from here to Tijuana, and we still wouldn't be doing 100 miles an hour. But we don't have the 5.9. We got that 6.2. Matt Sang says he's loaded. He made a video when he was at 750K, and he was making 35K a month on YouTube. Yeah, I wish. Definitely not making that. Definitely not making that yet. I wish. Hopefully, that's the goal. I'll stay optimistic. We will be one day. We just got to keep doing our thing. Perry says, been following your build for a year. Glad to help out. Is there any way to put a GoPro under the truck and look for a vibration so they might see something that gives you a clue? Yeah, Perry, I was thinking the same thing, and I was about to start doing that, actually, before I kind of ran out of daylight today. But part of the problem, and what I was going back to earlier in today's live, is the small window of opportunity from the start of the vibration to explosion is literally like the difference between 1 and 2 seconds of staying in the throttle or not. So it's kind of the issue is when it starts vibrating, there's really not much of a warning before it lets go. So that's kind of the scary part. Like I said, not that I'm scared of the truck. I'm just scared of the failure of that occurring again, and the expense that comes along with it, and the safety of it, and all that stuff. So I'm trying to see if there's a way that I can, get some Driveline experts to help me in this issue, to see if we can rule it out in some methodical form or fashion, rather than just going out and sending it and hoping that it doesn't fly apart. So that's where I'm at. I might try messing with it tomorrow. Matt Stanks is 5.9 laughing. Henry says, John, 2 a.m. on the East Coast. See you tomorrow. Hopefully a miracle happens. Thanks, man. Thanks for dropping in, Henry. Hopefully I have some good news for you tomorrow, but I'll try my best for sure. Like I said, I'm all ready to go, but the truck is not ready to go. Even though the truck is back together and working, there's still some sort of something. Oscar. Putting a taller tire on it will also help you. You could also try starting in second gear. I mean, yeah. But I mean, like I said, if the truck's getting to 100 miles an hour in the eighth, it's still, like I said, that's where the vibration is at its. I wouldn't even say at its worst. I haven't really gone much faster than that. It might get worse as you get up to, like I said, if you go to the quarter and you got up to like 120 or 150 or whatever the hell this thing would possibly get to. Who knows what kind of vibration would come out of this thing, but the vibration starts presenting itself pretty ridiculously around like 75 to 80, and then somewhere between the 80 to 110 is where kaboom happens. So, yeah, I mean, you're still gonna hit. Even if I put it in second, I'm still gonna hit close to 100 miles an hour in the eighth, and that's where the problem is. So that's the unfortunate part. Golden, hi Australia. What's up? I'm guessing you're from Australia. Thank you for joining. Matt says, I work straight nights in electrical maintenance and chilling right now. Nice. Heck yeah. If you can work and make money, why not, right? I love working straight night shifts. You're on that zombie mode. Like your hat. Thank you, sir. Matt says, peace out, Henry. What time is it by you, Boosted? It's 11 o'clock at night. So it's not early. It's not late. Kind of somewhere in the middle. Craig says, do you know what the weight difference is between your built Dakota versus the Hellcat? Both are platform to close in weight. No. So we went over this earlier in the live. We are like, I want to say like between 30, I haven't weighed it, but the original Dakota RT was like 3,800 pounds. So we're somewhere in and around there. American Bacon. Got some plans to Hellcat swap my Ram 1500. Anyone? I say do it. I'll be down. That's what I was gonna do next. That's kind of my, unless plans change, I kind of want to do that with the next swap. Be a more direct swap. Be more plug and play. Less headaches. I'm kind of down with that. Darren says, yep, me too. Now it's 2 a.m. Heading to bed. Good luck. Hope you get some good sleep too. Freshly rested thinker. Freshly rested thinker. Help you figure it out. I agree. All right, guys. I'm going to call it. Cut it off here. I'm going to try to get some sleep. Yeah, I'm going to try to get some rest. I'll see what I can accomplish tomorrow. Hopefully I have some better news for you tomorrow, but just remember it's not from a lack of trying. I'm doing my best to make this thing work, but at the same time, if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. I'm going to do some more testing tomorrow. Like I said, I might see if I can find an entire rear axle. If I happen to find one, maybe I'll just try stabbing that in and see if, for some reason, if that fixes things. So keep you guys posted. Anybody that joined as a member, make sure you email me. Let me know if you want the Hellcoda sticker in that sticker package. Thanks to everybody that joined today. Thanks to everybody that gave super chats today. Thanks for everybody. Thanks for your support. We're getting up to, we're over 90,000. We should be at 100K pretty soon. So everything's good, you guys. Can't complain. It's just I'm gonna try to make the event, but if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But on the plus side, if I don't make the event, truck will get painted. I'll have time to sort it out. I'll also get time to finally, like I said, focus on my move and stuff like that, so I can get that underway. So thanks, guys. I'll keep you updated. I'll let you know what's going on tomorrow and what we come up with. And have a good weekend. See you guys later.